Good morning, guys. Today is January 29th, and you are going to be doing your sedimentary rock formation Nearpod. We've talked about sedimentary rock formation, but I thought that this was a good activity to kind of drill it in and hit it home and see what you guys know as you walk through this Nearpod. So as always, remember that I'm looking for 100% participation on your lesson today, that it is graded. So take your time. Don't just fly through it. Remember, this is helping us also prepare for state testing. So it's important that you read each slide and you participate in each slide. So let's go ahead and get started. And so we see what we can learn. So how can you classify rock as sedimentary? All right. So we're going to learn about how can we do this. And how much do you already know about sedimentary rock? I hope that you're going to say I know a lot because we've gone over this last week and this week. Go ahead and fill out that slide. How do you think sedimentary rocks are formed? Now, again, we went over this a little bit last week. If you need to pause this video to answer your question, go ahead. I'll give you about 30 seconds and go ahead and write your answer down. How are they formed? All right. So I want you guys to take a look, a little field trip. Now, again, you can explore as long as you want, but we're going to go inside Zion National Park located in Utah. It has some amazing views. On the next slide, you're going to visit the Narrows, a popular hike through the canyon. As you explore, notice the rocks around the area. So take a look at these amazing rocks. Look at those. They're huge. Wow, look at those. They're not itty bitty rocks, are they? Look how tall they are. And you can kind of see the different colors in the rocks. You can actually zoom out. You can zoom in. We can go all the way around. Hold on one second. Look at that. So beautiful. You can kind of see that there's almost different layers that have been formed. You see that? We've talked about there. See how there's one layer right there, and then it's a little bit darker. I'm doing a full view. So take a look. How do you think those were formed? Take a look. And what did you notice about the rocks? Give me some details. Give me some evidence of what you saw. Be specific. I'm looking for your specific answers here. What did you notice about those rocks? Now, here is Antelope Canyon. This is located in Arizona, is a slot canyon. It was formed by the erosion of sandstone. Okay, so on the next slide, we're actually going to watch a video of Antelope Canyon. And as you watch, notice the wave-like appearance on the wall of the canyon. So let's take a look at this. Whoa, that is amazing looking. Look at those waves. Isn't that pretty crazy? So how would you describe this rock? Again, you can click the video up here if you need to watch it, but how would you describe it? I'll let you watch it again, or we're gonna watch this video about Antelope Canyon. Now I'm going to go ahead and stop this video for timing purposes, but how would you describe the rock? What does it look like? How do you think it formed? What do you guys think? So let's explain. We're going to explain and elaborate how rocks change through the rock cycle. So we've talked about this before. Remember, rocks are non-living solids. They're made up of one or more minerals, right? So rocks are classified by how they are formed. Igneous rock, that's formed when melted rock called magma or lava cools and hardens. Metamorphic rocks are formed by heat and pressure. And then that sedimentary rocks are formed when sediment gets cemented together under pressure. Now, what is sediment? Sediment is particles of broken rock. All right, so fossils or the remains of plants and animals are found in sedimentary rocks. So on the next slide, you're going to practice matching these vocabulary words with their meaning. So I want you guys to match them. Do the best you can. You can go ahead and pause, but remember, I may take a grade on this part. You can do it as many times as you can. You can pause this video while you go ahead and match the correct vocabulary word with the term. Again, pause and then come back when you're done. All right, let's talk about weathering. So the process of forming sedimentary rock begins with what's called weathering. So this is the process of breaking down rocks into smaller pieces. So how does that happen? By the weather. So winds can come in and break rocks apart, right? Water, the ocean going up and down, those waves, the ice, gravity, acid rain, and plant roots can all cause weathering. Erosion, all right? Rocks that have been broken into bits called sediment are then carried away through a process called erosion. So that wind, that water, and gravity all work to then carry that sediment away, either through the, like we talked about, either through the wind or water, rivers, streams, ocean. Deposition. So eventually the sediment settles into a new location, so it stops moving, right? And this is called deposition when it settles, and the layers of sediment called strata then begin to form. Then we have what's called compaction. So strata begins to form after that deposition. The compaction happens as each layer of the sediment build on top of each layer. So each layer is going to build upon. The weight of the top layer starts to press down the lower layers together. And this is the final step, cementation. And this is when the dissolved minerals seep into the sediment and harden. And now it becomes like glue. That's when you see it like a rock. It holds the rock together. It's like cement. So on the next slide, you're going to watch a video about the steps of lithification. So as you watch, I want you guys to notice what occurs in each step of the process.
This rock wall is an example of sedimentary rock. Sedimentary rocks are derived from igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic rocks. Sedimentary rocks make up around 75% of the rocks on the Earth's surface. Let's take a look at how clastic sedimentary rocks form. Clastic sedimentary rocks are the group of rocks most people think of when they hear the term sedimentary rocks. Clastic sedimentary rocks are made up of pieces of pre-existing rocks called clasts that vary in size. These sedimentary rocks follow WED-CC in order to form, which stands for weathering, erosion, deposition, compaction, and cementation. Weathering is when pre-existing rocks are broken down. This may occur by freezing and thawing of water inside the cracks of rocks, trees and other plants growing into cracks, and even blowing winds. Next, you have erosion, which occurs when these clasts or pieces of rocks are created during weathering and then are transported by either wind, water, or even gravity to a new location. Deposition is when the particles are deposited as loose sediment. Usually this is near a body of water, but not always. Over time, compaction occurs as layers of deposition build on top of one another and begin to squeeze together. Cementation occurs eventually when the minerals in the water will act like glue and cement all the pieces together. The end result is a sedimentary rock. This process of loose sediment hardening into rock by cementation and compaction collectively is called lithification. If you'd like to know more about sedimentary rocks, this playlist will help, and as always, thanks for watching, and Moo Moo Math uploads a new math and science video every day. Please.
All right, guys, so I want you guys to take a moment and take this quiz based on the video. It should be pretty simple for you. Pause this if you need to as you take the quiz. Take your time. If you need to go back and watch the video before you take the quiz, please do so. All right, just take your time and do your best. Now, if you're done with the quiz, we're going to talk about the types of sedimentary rocks. So there are 3 types of those rocks. The first is called clastic. It's referred to rock particles. This is the most common type of sedimentary rock. Then you have chemical sedimentary rock. This is formed when water is filled with minerals and then changes temperature and evaporates, leaving the minerals behind. Then you have organic sedimentary rocks. Those are formed from the remains of plants and animals. So coal and chalk are also examples of that organic sedimentary rock. On the next slide, you're going to watch a video about the different types of those rocks. So as you think, or as you watch, think about how their formation is different. All right?
Welcome to Moo Moo Math and Science. In this video, let's take a look at sedimentary rock examples. Sedimentary rocks are formed from pre-existing rocks or pieces of once living organisms. They form from deposits that accumulate on the Earth's surface or under the ocean. These particles that form a sedimentary rock are called sediment and may be composed of minerals or once living matter called organic matter. Sedimentary rocks can be divided into several groups. Some common groups include clastic sedimentary rocks, which form from fragments of pre-existing rocks, chemical sedimentary rocks, which form by precipitation of minerals from water. Precipitation is when dissolved minerals come out of water. And organic sedimentary rocks, such as coal and limestone, which form from the accumulation of plant and animal debris. Clastic sedimentary rocks are subdividing according to the dominant particle size. These particle sizes are ranked from smallest to largest. Clay is the smallest, then silt, sand, gravel, pebble, and boulder. Up first, shale. Shale is a fine-grained, clastic sedimentary rock composed of mud. This mud is a mix of flakes of clay minerals and silt-sized particles of other minerals, especially quartz and calcite. Shale is very fine-grained. Next, let's look at sandstone. Sandstone is one of the most common types of sedimentary rock found throughout the world. It is a clastic sedimentary rock composed of sand-sized grains of mineral rock or even organic material. It also contains some cemented material that binds the sand grains together. Next, conglomerate. Conglomerate is a coarse-grained clastic sedimentary rock composed of pebbles and boulders. The space between these pebbles and boulders is generally filled with smaller particles of calcite or quartz cement that binds the rock together. And finally, limestone. Limestone is an organic sedimentary rock that is often composed of the skeleton fragments of marine organisms such as coral. About 10% of sedimentary rocks found on Earth are limestones.
All right, friends, so let's go ahead and tell me, how are these three types of sedimentary rocks different and how they form? So if you need to go ahead and pause. If you need to go back and watch the video, but each one lists how they are different when they're formed, okay? Now, these rocks do not always stay sedimentary. Remember, that was the second part of the rock cycle. So over many years, these rocks can then transform into that metamorphic or igneous rock. So the continuous process of rocks changing from one kind of rock to another, remember, is called that rock cycle. So in the next slide, you're going to explore a diagram and read an article about the types of rocks to discover how rocks change over time. So as you explore, think about how a rock can change from a sedimentary rock to a different type of rock. So what I want you guys to do is to click on this. I want you guys to read through this, all right? You're gonna begin, click here with the types of rock, and you're gonna go over this, and then you can also go back. You can look at, this is an awesome diagram of it. You can also test your skills and again, go back and do this game. That will help you study, all right? So you can pause and take the time to do that. And then describe how a sedimentary rock can change into a metamorphic rock. So you should have looked at that from this site, okay? And you can even read through this, remember, and it'll tell you about the different types of rocks and how it changes, all right? So go ahead and answer that question. Pause me if you need to. All right, now I want to evaluate, do you understand sedimentary rocks, okay? So you're going to take this short quiz. Pause if you need to. This should be pretty easy for you guys. And then I want you guys to write each step in the process of the formation of sedimentary rocks. You can go back to the slide if you want to. Go back this way. And on those slides, remember, they will tell you each step in one of those slides. So you're going to write each step. And if we go back, hold on. Sorry, guys. You can go back. Here are your steps. You have weathering, would be one. Erosion. Tell me what erosion is. Deposition. What is deposition? Compaction. What is that? And then the sedimentation. Okay? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Each slide tells what it is. I just told you weathering, erosion, deposition, compaction, sedimentation. So when we go back to our slide over here, weathering, right? All of those steps should be written in here with a brief explanation of what it is. So I showed you exactly where to get those answers, right? I want you to do the work to write it in. You can use the typing tool by adding your text here. And that would probably be the easiest. So again, I showed you where the slides were. Now you can pause and write in your answers. All right? How do you feel after doing this activity? We're going to go over weathering again this week. That's kind of our highlight. That's why I started with this. And then what is the most interesting or surprising thing that you've learned about sedimentary rock? All right, type your answer here, and then you're finished. So again, watch this video if you need help. Make sure you're going through and answering each question, especially this last slide. I want to see each step. Remember, you can find the answers right here, this slide. Weathering is one, erosion, deposition, compaction, sedimentation, right? And then give me a brief explanation. What is weathering? Okay? This is the process of breaking down rocks into small pieces. So you would write weathering, breaking down rocks into smaller pieces. So you literally would write that. I'll do the first one so you know. You literally would write, hold on, you can make this small. Let's make the font much smaller. See, I'm changing the font, weathering. And that was the breaking down of rocks into smaller pieces, right? That one is done. Now you would do erosion, right? Then deposition, and then the other two, and give me a brief explanation of each one, all right? Okay, guys, I hope you guys get this done. Have a great day. We'll see you in live class tomorrow. Bye, guys.